sure that I do at least 30 minutes every day, 30 to 45 minutes. Today the winds were quite high during the day, but once I saw the kids out in the park, I went for my walk, because if the children are out, then it means that it's fine. So I went out, and I like to go see the Christmas lights. Everybody puts up nice Christmas lights in our area. So I like to go and take some photos and just enjoy the evening. It's good because there's lots of people around. I think people get so caught up in what they're doing. I hate it when they brush up against me and they touch me and all that. Even when I went to Life Labs, there was a guy in front of me and they called him forward before me. He came right up against me and he brushed against my bum. I never said anything. And the guy behind me, his face went bright red. His eyebrows went right up. People should just be conscious that there's people in front of you, or there's people you're walking past. Try to respect their personal space. I don't like it. And even in the workplace, it's important. Don't lean over people. Don't breathe on people. Don't go around hugging people unless you're really, really close to them and they know you. Because the police are actually putting people in jail for that. I got a shock when I saw it, but it's true. I saw some posts on social media, and they're from legitimate reporting companies. They're putting people in jail, you know, and I also don't like it. It even happened in the church. One woman, she put her finger right between my butt cheeks. I was like, what the hell, man? Like, stand, we all waiting in line. Just stand a little bit back. I tell them now, because you're waiting to we dip our fingers in the holy water and we make the sign of the cross when we go into the church. There was a woman behind me. She's like, excuse me. I said to her, I'm also putting my holy water. There's two there. No, they'll come up right behind you and they'll want to use the one that you're using. I said to her, I'm also waiting. You can go on the other side and use the other one if you want. We're all waiting in line. I mean, you're going into the church and you can't even have patience. I've had enough of it. I'm not surprised that the police are putting people in jail. It's just manners. It's just common sense. Especially if you're going for Holy Communion. Like, give people some space. You don't have to stand up right behind them. The church is not going to run out of the Holy Communion, or even if they do, it's ridiculous. Anyway, it's just, I've noticed things that are happening, and I don't blame the police. I don't. Because people are just becoming awful, leaning over you, breathing on you, coming up and hugging you, and you don't know them. It's like, enough is enough. That's what I say. It's really enough. I don't know what we're going to do, because it doesn't seem like things are getting better in Canada. And the job situation is not good. I reached out to all of my friends in Zimbabwe, family, friends, people I grew up with. I've reached out to even the Queen's Club to tell them if they know of people in Canada to refer me for work. Because I'm applying, I'm doing my part, but it's really bad. It's really, really bad. And I know there are power cuts and all that in Zimbabwe, but people are buying generators, people are buying water storage containers, and that's how they're getting by. Because the whole world looks like it's becoming the same. And it's really sad. It's really sad. So I don't know. I don't know how things are going to turn out for us here, because the investment is starting to go into Africa now. And so here the jobs are becoming less and less. I just hope they implement a basic income or something, because it's not our fault that there's no jobs. It's not our fault that, you know, people are sitting at home. And I even applied to places that work with newcomers to Canada, non-profits. I worked with those types of agencies when I did my volunteering work and my board work, but nothing has opened up. So, I don't know. It seems like in America they're hiring people and they can't get enough people. Meanwhile, here, there's no jobs. So, it's very sad. That's all I can say. It's very sad. And also, I wanted to talk about conflicts of interest today. Because my doctor's practice, they had a posting for like receptionists and things like that. But then I asked him, and I had sent my resume before, but he told me if we hire you, we won't be able to keep you as a patient. And it's very, very hard to get a good doctor. So I said, no, if that's the case, then just leave it. Because at least he's close to home. He's not that far. I can walk from here, or I can take the TTC and then walk down. Because from the subway, it's still it's at least 3 or 4 blocks to get to him. So there are conflicts of interest that come in. And that's why I was so upset with Bono. Because he's going around telling half the world that he loves me. I'm a volunteer. I'm not like the CEO of his company. I'm not at his same level. I'm not a billionaire. You know, it's a conflict of interest. And also, if you're going on those calls, if you're hopping on the calls and you're there to discuss things that are to do with poverty alleviation and to do with getting investment and aid to Africa and all that, you don't want to be sitting and half the call is like, oh, Bono likes her. Oh, Bono loves her. Like, that's not the purpose of the call, and that's not the purpose of us being there. So it's sad, because I know I played a big role in that one campaign, and I always step up for them. But it's a conflict of interest. And that's the sad part. He won't be able to see me again, because he approached it the wrong way. He should have talked to me. He could have come. We had so many events here. We even had an event where Ndidi came, the new CEO. He should have come to that event. I've invited him so many times. Or he should have taken me to his events where he was. They do fly people out. They used to fly people out to their concerts, to meetings, to events. He could have done it and then spoken to me, because it was a waste of time. They're bringing it up with the public when we're going out to do events. They're bringing it up on the calls. Even the government, people who are in the government. I left that and I thought, okay, let me join Results Canada, because they do similar work. They help with poverty alleviation and they help with getting funding for treatable diseases for Africa. So I left that. Then one of the big shots in our government, I think it was Jean Augustine, she was on there. She's like, oh, Bono wants to know what she's saying. Like, it doesn't make sense. So, you know, it's sad for me and it's sad for him, because he should have just talked to me and he should have just come on the call or whatever, because now I can't help them. I can't. Whatever I'm doing now, I'm doing for myself. I'm also doing it to help the Jesuits, because I've got Jesuit friends in South Africa. I've got Father Peter Knox and Bruce Botha. Damien Howard is in England. I haven't heard from him for a long time, but he's in England. So I keep in touch with them. And now I have to just use my voice and do it for me. It's nicer when you do it with others and you join with others and you do it, because you're doing it as part of an organization. But like this now, there's a conflict of interest. And I think it's sad. I don't know who advises Bono. I don't know who his lawyers are and who talks to him and how he works. But like, if you're bringing it up on the team and you're telling them to tell me, that's one thing. But if you're bringing it up on the team and they're telling the public, and then the ministers are telling people, and it's becoming like this, it's not a good thing. It's not good. Because I've been on some calls where he's been there. I was there at the launch. He could have sat with us. He could have spent time with us. He could have talked to me. He didn't do it. So, you know, there's no point going through whoever, Deacon Bill or Father Larry or whoever. There's no point. They got their own interests. They've got their own agenda of what they want to do and what they want to accomplish, just like me. I also want to earn a living. I also want to have a job. I also want to travel. I also want to stay at the best hotels. So, what's the point? If you're going to them, there's no point. And it becomes a conflict of interest because nobody wants it on the call. It becomes embarrassing for me and for the long-standing volunteers, maybe not for the new people, this new team that he's got selected, maybe not for them, because they don't know him the way we know him. So that's all I can say. It's sad. It's sad because it's a loss for me and it's a loss for him. Yeah, I can support his music and, if by God's grace I get a good paid job, I can try to go out to the concerts. But even for the Vegas concert, I couldn't go. The tickets were too expensive. The tickets were too expensive for his book launch. I waited in the queue. I got to the front and then I got kicked out online. And by the time I got back in, the tickets were over $3,000. I don't have $3,000 to go and spend on a ticket to go and listen to Bono. So that's what I can say about conflicts of interest. If you care about somebody, if you love somebody, talk to them. Don't take it to their mother, their uncles, their parents, their team. It just becomes a problem for that individual. It becomes a problem and then they get you off the team and then you can't do anything. You can't help in any way. So it's important to remember that because these are business relationships. They are official relationships. They are relationships that are valued. And unfortunately, like Najiba said to me, do you want me to send a letter to Bono from the One campaign? I said, no, I don't want you to send a letter to him. I will tell him. I'll tell him whatever I want to tell him on Facebook. But I don't need Najiba coming in between me and anybody else. I don't need it. So I did a good job for them while I was there. And a lot of companies have policies in place where you can't date people in the workplace. Sometimes they say, yes, it's fine, they don't care. But a lot of the times they don't want it, especially in the American context. They don't want it. And when people are married, it makes it worse. So I don't want that kind of thing. I don't need that kind of thing, or people assuming things that are not true. I did a very good job for them, and I was with them for a long, long time, so it's sad. It's unfortunate. And they're going in a different direction now, so, he's not that much involved, but he's there for his team when they need him. And our Canadian team, what about us? He never made the effort, except for the launch, and even then, he never came and sat with us and talked to us and spent time with us. So if somebody's saying they love me, why aren't they spending time with me? Why aren't they there physically like they are there for other people? So it's important to remember that conflicts of interest are important, personal space is important, and adapting to a country is important. Because I was quite shocked when I saw the news that the police actually can put people in jail. I'm very respectful of people. I'll ask them, can I give you a hug? If they say no, I back off. If somebody says, oh, we don't want you at our party, I say, okay, that's fine. I'm not invited, I don't go. That's the way it should be. It doesn't matter if it's family or friends or whoever. If they don't invite me, I don't go. And if they invite me, if I'm not comfortable, if they're not comfortable, I don't go. And that's the way it should be, because here things are very, very different to Zimbabwe. They're very different. At home we say, oh yeah, it doesn't matter if they gate crash, let them come. It's very different here. They arrest people and they put them in jail. And I didn't know that. But it's something that I would encourage others to read up on it, think about it. And we also have the internet now, but some of the news on there is fake. So I just thought I would share that. If anyone has $5,000 to give me to go see Bono in concert, send it my way. I'll go. But I don't have any money right now. So I'm back to asking people for financial gifts and writing to my MPs, writing to Mark Carney, writing to the government to say that people like me who are out of work through no fault of our own, we need a basic income. We need to have something coming in because we're not drug addicts. We didn't do anything wrong. We didn't commit crimes. We didn't do anything to deserve being unemployed. And it's a global problem because even the people I contacted in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, they're all saying there's no jobs. That, things are, I don't know what the news here is saying, there's a lot of investment taking place in Africa, the infrastructure is coming together in Zimbabwe, in South Africa. But when I reach out, I'm not just reaching out for fun. It's not a joke. I'm very serious when I say if I get a job in a bank in Zimbabwe or South Africa or an accounting firm or South Africa's companies, I'll go. Because nobody wants to be sitting at home and it's over a year and a half and you don't get anything coming in. And I told my doctor as well about what's happening with the family, with my finances, with not getting work. And it's not my fault. I'm doing everything I can to get work, but I'm just not getting anything. So I just wanted to leave you with those pointers because I thought there were two topics to cover which are good. And I'm using my own life and my own examples because that's what helps people. That's what we are supposed to do. Even when we write to the MPs, when we write to our Prime Minister, when we write to the MPs that are in power, we're supposed to share our personal story, our personal journey, because that's what makes the difference. If you just write to them and say, oh, we support getting a basic income, or we support not having the Bible and the holy books of Jews, Muslims, and Christians criminalized, they'll be like, okay, whatever. But if you use your personal journey, if you use your personal examples of what's happening to you, what's happening to your family, what's happening to your friends, that's what makes the difference. And that's what gets the funding for the One Campaign, for aid agencies, for doing things, whether it's Zambia or Zimbabwe or whatever. It's the citizens there don't have as much influence as us here. It's because of us and because of what we are suffering and what we are going through that they also help. Because our voices are the ones that gets the funding. And if you are going to join these aid agencies, if you're going to help the One Campaign, if you're going to help Ndidi, if you're going to help Bono, when you are writing, make sure you include your personal story. If you are writing to our Prime Minister, to Mark Carney, to the MPs, include your personal examples. Include it. Even like me, I include all my personal examples. Even about people touching me, brushing up on me, I include it because I don't like it. I'm not comfortable with it. So that's what I wanted to share for today. And I'm glad I got out. It's nice to go out. I also watched that concert. The Pope invited Michael Bublé to sing for the poor. It was very moving. I loved all the Christmas hymns that he chose. And Sam Cooke's song, Bring It On Home, and Always on My Mind by Elvis Presley. It almost made me cry. It was really, really beautiful the way he sang. So I shared it. If you want to watch it, it's on YouTube. I didn't watch it live, but it's nice to watch and to join in.